Getting goosebumps in Bangkok, the Thai rocket festivals, and are vending machines the future of Thailand? That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand, brought to you by Deva Beach Resort. And presenting with me today is Tim Newton.
Hello, Jay. Oh, who's over here?
Hello.
And with her jazz hands, it's Natty Warisa.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Good Morning Thailand. We're back in the big city.
And thank you very much to Natty for looking after the office last week.
That's right.
We seem to have gone up in the world.
Yep.
We're actually on the. I can't say that. We're in the floor above where we used to be.
That's right.
And we walked in. We can't find anything. Our security codes didn't work.
Yep.
So we were all sort of sitting around going.
Well, only me and you.
So you're waiting for my
Yes, we were waiting for you.
Sorry.
As usual, you just strolled in 5 minutes before you needed.
I needed the red carpet, so
Yes.
I was waiting for that.
That's right.
But we're here in the new studio.
Yes, we are. And we are on the fourth day of the long weekend. Have you enjoyed your long weekend so far? Because I didn't realize it was a long weekend.
Well, I'm not sure what Natty did. I didn't even know Friday was a holiday, but I found out it was Royal Ploughing Day. Mm-hmm. So you'd be heavily into that.
Very much, yes.
So back to your agricultural roots?
Yep, yeah. I was
so-
feeding my cows and all that, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So it's apparently only a public holiday for civil servants.
Okay.
Maybe farmers? Do they get Royal Ploughing Day off?
I don't think so.
But then Saturday was, Saturday. Then yesterday was Wisaka Busha Day.
Yeah.
And then today is the substitute holiday because it fell on a Sunday, so they're holding it today.
Well, today's also a special day because today's also the full moon party.
Ooh.
In Koh Phangan. That's right.
A question?
Yeah.
Question?
Yes.
If yesterday was Wisaka Busha Day,
Yes.
it's the holiest of the Buddhist holidays.
Yes.
I think there's 4 of them. The Wisaka Busha Day is the really important one, and it's no alcohol.
Yeah. You couldn't buy alcohol anywhere around Thailand.
So the question being, is today the substitute holiday? Can you drink alcohol today or not?
I believe you can because it's just a substitute for the public holiday, as in you don't have to go to work.
Because I was at a restaurant last night and the alcohol was flowing.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they weren't Buddhists, but
Yeah.
In a hotel, though, because hotels would be exempted from that rule. Sometimes.
I think there are a lot of
Allegedly.
people who just make up their own exemptions, basically. So, because I was wondering if they're going to hold the full moon party and they're only allowed to drink lemonade.
No, you can't because, for example, Christmas is still Christmas. It will always be on the 25th, even if the holiday is on the 26th. So just like that, Visakha Bucha Day was on Sunday.
Right.
It cannot be on Monday.
Okay.
It's just a substitute.
But today's the substitute holiday,
Yes.
where apparently you can drink alcohol, and if you get arrested, you can say, Jay told me so.
And you can expect about 6,000 to 7,000 people this full moon party in Koh Phangan.
That's what they're predicting? Is that more or less? I think the last time they had up
definitely
to over 10.
Yeah.
10,000.
There's definitely less, and that's the point that they've been trying to make, that we're going to, pay more attention to the COVID-19 rules. There's going to be less people, and it's going to be a bit more.
Oh, I've got a cough coming on.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I'm better now.
Tissue?
Okay.
You really do have dad jokes. That's something my dad would do.
So, Koh Phangan and Hat Rin Beach,
Yeah, that's right.
or Hat Rin, is where they have it, and it just goes crazy for one night every month.
Yeah, one night in Koh Phangan.
In parts of the world, it is a lunar eclipse today.
Yeah.
But we don't see it here in Asia. We've been exempted. A bit like the alcohol exemption, we've been exempted. But if you're in South America, full lunar eclipse today.
Is it because of the PM 2.5 is covering it, or?
No,
Oh,
Natty, it's got
never
nothing to do with the PM 2.5.
All right, never mind.
Wait.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Where did you come up with that?
Don't know. You said you can't see it. Okay, never mind. I thought it was covered.
Nettie. Okay, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Hoteliers around Thailand have also come out and said that, look, this long weekend, the government was expecting a lot of domestic travel.
Yes.
Because yes, the international tourism is still lacking as of right now. They're expecting more and more tourists to come. Possibly the highest amount of tourists will come in the fourth quarter of the year. But this 4-day long weekend, they expected more domestic travel. However, I wouldn't say it's been a fail or it's been underwhelming, but it's been underwhelming. Hotels in general, if you compare the occupancy rates of hotels in Hua Hin, Pattaya, and Krabi, they're all at about 60%. 60 to
That's not
70%.
bad.
That's not bad, yes, but
I also think that's not if they were 60% full,
yeah.
then we would be saying that we've got our tourism back up around 50 or 60%.
But they'd normally be 100% full.
Okay, so if they were normally 100 and they're 60% full,
Yeah.
why have we only got less than 10% of the tourists coming back to Thailand? The numbers don't add up.
No, but they're saying that domestic tourism is underwhelming. It's not as good as it was before. It should have been 100% because of domestic tourism, but it's currently at 60%. So it's not a reflection of international tourists coming in.
So when you've got 40 million tourists,
Yes.
and those hotels are 100% full, you're saying they're 60% full now, but the tourism's more than 90% less than it was in 2019. So
Yeah.
I think they're making up these numbers.
Okay. Strong statements.
I don't know. I came back to Bangkok on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And yesterday I found it dead.
Really?
I didn't see anybody well, that's not quite right, but it was much quieter than I've seen it before.
That's strange because actually yesterday I went to MBK and it was filled with tourists.
Oh, wow.
Like this is the first time I actually saw MBK having more international people than non-Thai people than Thai people itself. There were a lot of people from the Middle East, I'm going to assume, and a lot of people from Scandinavia just because of their skin color. I am being racist. Anyhow. But there were a lot of
He's
tourists.
white. He looks Scandinavian.
Must be blonde hair.
He's got
Anyways.
that beard. He looks like a Viking. It must be him.
But I was pleasantly surprised that at
Okay.
least MBK is coming back.
Okay, well, if I found the streets a bit quiet and you found MBK full, so we've got two different versions of what's
Right.
going on in Bangkok. But you're right. I think there was an expectation that people were going to be travelling madly over this 4-day weekend, and they finagled the 4-day weekend so that people would be able to go on longer trips. And I also noted that Koh Lan, the little island off Pattaya, they were saying on Friday that they were 100% booked for the weekend.
That's right. Not a single person more could come to the island or they'd sink.
It's not quite what they meant,
Oh,
but
okay.
thank you for that.
That was a joke, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. For anyone, Jay's just talking trash. Anyways, which is quite often true.
So it would look like it was a little bit lumpy. You're saying it was quite busy in Bangkok. A lot of the tourism hotspots saying, no, it was actually really quiet. But a lot of them did note, I thought this was the as I looked to my two-shot camera, Natty, a lot of them were saying that one of the disappointments was that they noted that the domestic tourism was really starting to wane, especially after the May Day holidays and, of course, Songkran back on the 13th to the 15th of April, and that now the locals are not travelling as much as they used to. Jay, if you had a shop and you'd been closed or limited in operating hours for 2 years,
Yeah.
you'd be saying, now's not the time to travel, now's the time to open up my shop again.
That's exactly right, because I work for a living, and
Sure.
so do these shop owners. I don't think it's the best strategy to expect domestic tourism to take off or locals to keep going on holidays again and again. We just had a break for Songkran. Now that's one time of the year that most Thai people go back and visit their families. Then we had so many public holidays in April. And then we had Labor Day, and now it's another 4-day weekend. What do they think that these locals are just strapped with cash? I'm going to go to Hua Hin and stay in like a fancy hotel. They can't do that.
Also, I feel like the government is sending mixed signals, right? On the one hand, like, hey, go out, go explore Thailand, like, let's spend good time, family time outside. But at the same time, hey, also be careful, wear your mask, get booster shots, stay indoors if possible. And it's like kind of conflicting.
Yeah,
like,
the
what am I
bars are
supposed
still
to
closed.
Exactly. Yeah.
There is a lot of conflicting messages there. And so I think that the government's got to start saying we can't rely on domestic tourists to fill these hotels anymore. They need to get things like fully open, not just a little bit open like they are now, but they need to get rid of the Thailand pass. They need to look at their daily COVID numbers, which are just sinking lower and lower. I mean, I think today we're below 6,000. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm predicting it will be. And the number of deaths too are dropping very quickly. And say, okay, it's now time to just get things fully open again. What was the idea they came up with on Friday? The idea, what was it called? The thing they came up with on Friday. What was it called? The endemic.
Oh, the endemic sandbox.
The endemic sandbox. I mean, for Christ's sake. But what a load of garbage that is. They've just really got to bite the bullet and get things fully open. We're not going to see a huge surge in cases. I mean, the science is there now. The evidence is there that any residual COVID is much less dangerous. Yes, there could be another variant that comes up, but that hasn't yet. And the ones that have come up so far have been less dangerous. So let's get things properly open. So there are no people out there that can say, oh, I don't want to wear a face mask. I don't want to upload the Thailand pass. No. Well, you won't have anything to complain about. That's what we need. So nobody has any barriers to returning to Thailand. So if there are people that want to come here, don't give them any excuses.
Talking about travelling and barriers, ladies and gentlemen, there are new rules for driving now in Thailand. In this segment, which I like to call Keeping Up with the Gazette. Yes? No?
Okay.
You don't get that reference? Never mind.
I got it.
We have new rules for driving, including compulsory wearing of seat belts, not only in the front seats, but also in the back seats, as well as having a baby seat in a car if you're travelling with a baby.
So we asked
a minor, I'm guessing it's a certain age range.
At our production meeting, which goes for about a minute each morning.
Yes.
I turned to Natty and said, Natty, do you wear the seatbelt in the back seat of the car?
Well, it's not the law yet, so I don't wear it. Yeah.
And you've never worn a seatbelt in the back seat of the car?
No.
In some Western countries, for example, where I came from, if you didn't wear the back seat, the seatbelt in the back seat of your car, you felt naked.
I love the way you said it. In some Western countries, as in like in a civilized society.
Oh, no. I'm not suggesting that at all.
Okay.
But as far as baby seats are concerned, I mean, they've been compulsory in some of those Western countries for many, many years. But again, a lot of people here are quite happy to, mum and dad in the front seat and the baby just sort of standing in the middle wobbling around, just waiting for a sudden squeak on the brakes. So having compulsory baby seats at a certain standard, they're not cheap, I might add.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to be saying, look, a lot of young families can't afford that. And then you would have to say, well, what about the people that sit in the Samlor or something? I mean, there's no seat belts in those.
Yeah.
What about the people sitting on the back of the motorbikes? There's no seat belt there. So, I mean, these are sort
no
of...
helmets there.
Yeah. So these are laws that perhaps we should have, but they need to be tempered with a certain amount of Thai-ness.
The baby seat in the car was a bit of a surprise for me. I thought it was already part of the law. You know, if you're a single parent, adult, just traveling in a car and you have a baby with you, you need a baby seat.
Even if you're a married adult with a child.
Yeah.
Not just a single
and
adult.
or in the middle.
I remember when I was a kid, like say 6 or 7 years old. A long time ago. I was standing in the back seat while my dad was driving, and I was like, wee, wee. It was very fun.
How did you go?
How did I go? I mean, I'm just standing.
Wee,
oh yeah, wee. Did you like that?
Yeah, I get that. And I've seen a lot of people, with infants and children. They just hold them. Not many baby seats in here unless they're expats or foreigners, possibly some Thai people too.
And
I just haven't experienced it myself.
It's exactly what Tim said though. Baby seats are expensive and they're not typically produced in Thailand. That's the problem. So they have to import it, then they got the import tax, and the price itself from the get-go is already high, like more than 2,000 baht up.
Can I ask either
I think for a good one, 5,000
or chai?
Yeah.
Can you go into Lazada especially Lazada, and check for baby seats.
Whoa. Can we go Shopee? That's the one.
Shopee.
Let's go to Shopee.
So can we check on baby seats to see how much you can get a baby seat for? Car baby seat.
Yeah.
Car baby seat, I think it would be
Tim,
under.
while they're searching, a follow-up question.
Yes.
Now, did you find it strange when you came here that nobody wears a seatbelt at the back of the seat? I mean, it might be difficult to get people sitting in the front seat to wear a seatbelt. How about the people at the back? Maybe people feel safer when they're at the back?
Well, look, it didn't particularly bother me because, like a whole lot of other things, you say, well, I'm in a different country now. If that's the rule here, well, that's the rule.
Yeah.
I started getting a little bit... I started sitting in the front because I always sit in the front seat of a taxi. Do you sit in the front seat or the back seat?
Back seat.
Back seat.
I always sit in the front seat.
You would scare them.
I used to when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I just feel like I want
You want to be
to
chauffeured.
I want to maintain a distance from someone I don't know. He could
Between
be a
his-
crazy cab driver.
Because his economic stature and
They,
yours.
they also just randomly start talking to you about like politics or
But I
something.
love that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, the Thai taxi driver talks to you like, what do you think about the current situation in da-da-da-da-da.
No, they usually say, where do you come from and do you speak Thai? And so the conversation's usually short, but
Yeah.
I thought I say, I'm from Phuket. No, where are you from?
Yeah.
I'm from Phuket. So the conversation, they go, oh, he's a stupid foreigner, farang. So, but I sometimes would not wear my seatbelt in the front of the taxi because I thought,
Oh, no.
I'm in Thailand now. But
Whoa.
the
Okay,
the
I'll never
taxi
do
drivers
that.
do remind
Yeah, they do.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Num, you have an answer?
Oh yeah, yes, about 1 to 3,000.
1
1
to
to
3,000.
3,000
That's
baht.
cheap. That's
Yeah.
on the cheaper
Well, that's
end, though.
much cheaper than I thought.
Yeah.
Someone said, real life living, he says, Lazada has car seats for 200 baht. I don't think you should buy that. If they do have car seats for 200 baht, do me a favor, don't buy it.
Yes.
I don't think it'll be very safe.
You'd just be better putting your child in the seatbelt and
Yeah.
putting a couple of seatbelts across. And no,
Right.
if
All right.
you're going to buy
Yeah.
a car seat, you're going to buy the best one, of course, for your child because it's an important part of their safety. And I think as more people get into driving cars, the speed limits go up, the roads improve, the price of cars get cheaper, blah blah blah. There will be more people driving cars, and the road rules sort of slowly coming up to date with some other countries.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to check out Thailand's main headlines with Natty, and then we'll come back with more fun stories that include the Thai Rocket Festival, as well as the Thai Goosebumps Festival.
Ooh, goosebumps.
Goosies. All right, we'll be back right after this.
Get your rain poncho ready for the next 2 days. Thailand is expecting heavy rain showers to cover most of the countries through until tomorrow. This news comes after the monsoonal troughs have already spread through Phuket and the Andaman coast. Now, winds and precipitation are expected to pick up in the northern, northeastern, central, and eastern regions of the country, as well as in the Bangkok area. Thailand's meteorological department says the wet weather is due to a high-pressure cold front from China being compounded by the southwestern monsoon covering the Andaman Sea and the Gulf of Thailand. It warns of possible flash flooding in vulnerable areas. In Phuket and the Andaman coast, the impact of storms can already be felt. Last week, a storm of fierce rain and wind caused several large trees to fall down and plundered 3 houses in Patong on Phuket's west coast. A cyclone in the Bay of Bengal last week also brought additional moisture to southern Thailand. In the latest allegations against Thailand's now infamous former deputy leader of the Democrat Party, a woman is accusing Prin Panichapak of indecent exposure in a restaurant in 2013 and rape in 2014. The alleged rape cannot be investigated because the victim didn't report it within months when it happened, and yet police say they will summon Prin to acknowledge the charge of indecent exposure next week. As Metropolitan Police investigate 5 cases connected to Prin, police in Phetchaburi and Chiang Mai are also looking into allegations against him in their provinces. With over 20 women now having coming forward and accusing Prin of sexual abuse and rape, this is being called Thailand's #MeToo moment. And lastly, Thailand's wildlife authorities are trying to find ways to prevent wild elephants from getting into the community areas and back into the wild. Authorities worry there are too many elephants in Chonburi and 4 other eastern provinces, including Chachoengsao, Rayong, Chantaburi, and Sa Kaeo. Last week, the director of the department's Wildlife Conservation Office addressed to the public about the elephants' behaviors and ways to get them back into the wild if they came into community areas. The director, Padet Laitong, said that the department is limiting the space in forested areas where elephants can live and pushing back elephants that go outside of the designated areas. He said there is enough food and water for the elephants in their designated spaces. Padet stressed that controlling elephants' birth rates needs to be done according to research guidelines in a way that will not affect the elephant's lifestyle. Padet said that one possibility is to have human fences in which locals can report to authorities about wild elephants in community areas. He also added that while the number of elephants in the 5 provinces was 423 in 2018, that number has grown by 8% per year to 470 to 480 elephants.
And welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand with Tim, Natty, and Jay. And this show is sponsored by Dewa Beach Resort.
Oh, thank you, Dewa. Valerie Wand,
Yeah.
hello, says, always knew Tim was weird. Front seat of a taxi, exclamation mark. So, do you think it's weird sitting in the front seat of a taxi? Clearly Valerie does.
I think a lot of people prefer to sit in the back seat. It just feels maybe safer, maintain a little bit of distance from a stranger. You don't know if they're a bit wacky or not. You don't know if they're going to start talking about politics or if they're going to start making you feel guilty for some religious purposes. I've just had some bad experiences.
I think it's an unwritten rule in Thailand that if you go on the taxi, you have to sit in the back. But
You have to.
unwritten rule.
A
Not
lot-
really.
A lot of
have
the
to,
taxi drivers, they just pull the seat up front.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
and that was,
I
thought,
always have to push it back.
I used to
gosh.
think that it's to make the customer behind a bit more comfortable, which makes sense. I actually asked one, like, why do you do that? And he said, oh, I don't want them to sit in the front.
Well,
So,
every time
no-
I go to sit in the front,
Yeah.
they sort of look at me going, why are you sitting in the passenger seat?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, get away from me. Go at the back.
So, yeah, I'm a front seater. It's just the way it is, Valerie.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the show so far, please click the like button. Click it for Natty. Click it for Tim's white shirt and the Thaiger mugs. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Mark Allen and maybe someday soon. Thank you for being Thaiger members and supporting the show. We appreciate you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your support, as well as all the live viewers watching us right now. Unfortunately, we couldn't visit Dewa Beach Resort because we were at Chashada, but Dewa Beach Resort, beautiful, 5-star, luxurious place.
On Nai Yang Beach.
That's right. You can get a 10% discount if you type in the code Thaiger. Visit Dewa Beach Resort next time you're in Phuket.
Have they rung us up and offered to have us there for a week?
Sure, no, they have not.
No.
But
They
if
might
we
have seen
actually
last week's
contacted
show.
them ourselves, they probably would.
Laura, another female viewer, hello Laura, says, I'm in Chiang Rai. I was in a terrible motorcycle accident, never going to get back on one. Well, I hope you're fully recovered, and I understand that if you are on a motorbike and you do have an accident, the road's usually pretty rough and you're going to come off second best.
All right.
So be careful.
Yeah, let's move on to our next topic, which is regarding the annual Thai Rocket Festival in Yosaton. Now, this year's Bun Bang Phai was held May 13th to 15th. Did you watch any videos online?
I love Bun Bang Phai. I just like saying Bun Bang Phai. They have other rocket festivals in other parts of northeast Thailand and up in Laos, where some of the traditions of the rocket festival started. But the Yasaton Rocket Festival is one of the biggest. We've got some video in the background there.
Isan culture.
So the Rocket
and
Festival
rockets.
is, I think it's great. You've got people with big bits of PVC tubes, some of them up to 9
The
metres
Bang
long.
Phai Rocket
You've
Festival
got
in
up to
Yasothon
100
is timed to fit in with the
kilograms of
annual
gunpowder
wet season.
in these
The
tubes.
symbolism is all
You've
about
got
reaching
copious
for the
amounts of
clouds
alcohol
to
and
break
loud
them
music.
for the wet season
What could
rains.
possibly go wrong?
Communities from
Sounds safe.
around the region
So,
vie for the
I
prize
think this
of
is
the
a-
rocket that reaches the
And
highest
some of these
into
rockets,
the sky.
they are extraordinary, as you can see. Some of them go straight up, which is what they're meant to do.
Traditionally,
Others
the festival
don't.
is a
Some just
merit-making
explode.
ceremony, practiced
People
by
lose
ethnic
fingers,
Lao
hands,
people
the
throughout
odd
much
death.
of Isan and Laos
and
to
then
call in
during
the
the
annual
parades, they have all
monsoonal
the
rains.
traditional
But
costumes,
much of the
women
traditions have
walking around with
veered a bit
phallic
off course,
symbols.
much like some of the
It's
rockets,
just one of those-
to become something
you look at it and
much,
go,
much bigger.
This is time.
Well, we're going to briefly talk
There's
about
the
this
acrid
festival.
smell of
There's
gunpowder.
actually an article on thethaiger.com and also a video on our YouTube uploaded on Saturday. And the reason we're going to briefly talk about it is because there's a new festival in town, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thailand's Goosebump Festival. 3, 2, 1.
Goosey goosey.
Goosey, goosey.
Thailand's first spiritual culture festival in Thailand. It's called Thailand's Goosebump Festival and it will be taking place from the 27th to the 29th of May. Guess where, ladies and gentlemen? At the Makasan Train Factory.
Which is very close to us.
Very close,
That's
yeah.
right. It's
So
about 4 minutes.
You go up
By
to the
taxi?
intersection and you turn left and go about 1 kilometre.
Yeah, it's right next to near the TOT office as well.
Oh, is that where the TAT office is?
Yeah, and Petchbury Road to the
Petchbury,
left.
yeah.
Oh, strange they've never invited me around for coffee.
Oh, that's a shame.
Very near the Makasan Airport link. But there's a big train station there with trains. And you can visit old trains and you might visit a few old spirits.
That's right. This festival is organized by the TAT, and visitors can purchase amulets. They can make merit, take photographs with a 112-year-old train. I thought that was pretty cool. And taste Thai delicacies,
Delicacies, nice.
as well as the
Like
brave.
you can't taste Thai delicacies anywhere in Thailand.
But these will be special ones, and they'll all be
Spooky
at the
ones.
same place. And at this festivals, they can also take part in eerie games. So they're going to have spooky thriller type games, as well as you can dress in a ghost costume and play old traditional fair games. So it's basically like a big fair, and it's got the Thai version of Halloween, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So this is where you can go and indulge yourself in spirits and things that don't exist.
Yes.
I think it should be called the Thai Bullshit Festival.
Wow, strong words.
That's unfair. That's unfair because a lot of people have belief in spirits, and I think
Go for it.
I think even if you don't agree with it,
Look, it's all good fun.
Yeah.
But I think you're right in saying it's a bit like the sort of a local Halloween. And why not? Because Thais love their Halloween,
We do.
which is sort of an imported festival, so why not have their own?
yeah.
Yeah. So if you like Halloween, you get it twice this year in Thailand.
It's catered to, I'm guessing, the domestic market because the festival also features local bands, some famous ones, including Indigo, Sprite, and Paradox. Now, I only know Paradox from the three, but Paradox throws a very good concert.
Indigo, Sprite, they're two different bands.
Yes, Indigo, Sprite, and Paradox. Last time I went to a Paradox concert, they were a band who plays nice pop and rock songs, and then they had two big chubby guys dressed as Nacho Libre. You know the Mexican wrestling. They were
yeah.
dressed in the mask and the full outfit. They were jumping out in the crowd. They had inflatable dummies that they were playing around with. It was really good. I was like, what is this concert? But I forever remembered Paradox. So
There we go.
it's a
Speaking
good
of
night
which,
to be.
we should talk about Eurovisions.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, strange costumes. Well, I mean, look, good luck. It sounds like it's a new festival, something different. Are you going, Natty?
Yeah, I want to go.
I think we should go. You know what, guys? Let's be honest. Like, has this been crazily advertised? Probably not. But it's something new
Well,
to
it is
do.
now.
Yeah, it's something new to do within walking distance of the office. So I think we will
We'll
go
have to
there.
go.
I want
Maybe
to.
we'll shoot a video there. We can have a nice outing as a team, and I bet you enjoy it because there's one thing Thailand does extremely well, and that's thriller movies and ghost movies. So
Yeah, they do love their ghost movies.
I'm hoping it's going to be a ball.
The old fair games, that sort of sounded fun to me.
It's just a fun fair. Yeah,
so,
it's
you know,
fair.
shooting the ducks and
And they're
Yeah.
cheap too, like
Win a
20 or
big
10
whack-a-mole.
baht.
Win a big
Yeah.
teddy bear for Natty.
Yeah.
A teddy bear bigger than Natty. That's not too difficult, actually. Yeah.
all right, so I'll go.
All right. And our last topic today, ladies and gentlemen, it was actually regarding vending machines. Should we talk about that or should we keep it for tomorrow?
No,
so
go
we can
for
have
it.
a longer discussion.
No, go for it.
Shall we do it now? Oh, Natty's offended. Natty was
I wanna talk about
excited for the vending machine. All right, let's talk about vending machines because vending machines might possibly be the way forward for Thailand as a country, as well as the possible death of 7-Eleven. Dare I say it? Dare I say
Okay,
it?
so we're talking about another way of getting rid of people's jobs.
Yeah.
So rather than walking into 7-Eleven and walking around and picking your favourite snack and grabbing a grape and a drink or something, then when you go to the checkout, there won't be a checkout. You'll just get all these from vending machines. But then again, someone's got to fill the vending machines.
So we're not getting rid of the jobs. We're just transferring them into different areas.
Well, I'm sorry, I want to check out with somebody that's going to give me change and that I can have a civil conversation with. Oh, well, I don't want the vending machines.
But maybe
I say no to vending machines.
Right.
Right. Quick announcement, guys. Julian Stiles, thank you very much for donating to the Thaiger.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he says, you three are informative, funny, and fantastic. That's a very positive message.
Informative, funny,
Makes-
fantastic. Okay.
Sure. Well, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, let's go with that.
Really?
Thank you very much, Julian. We appreciate your donation.
Thank you very much.
You say no to vending machines. I say, why not? Why not? Because I'll tell you why. Luckily, in my building, there is a 7-Eleven vending machine. Mm-hmm. And yes, they probably have 2% of the
there's
products
no
available.
range.
However, sometimes you've run out of water. You know, it's 10 p.m. You don't, maybe it's late at night if you're a man or woman afraid to get mugged at night. And or you're just lazy and you don't want to walk that 100 meters. Just come down, you buy yourself a bottle of water, and you go back and enjoy your water and sleep hydrated, wake up in the morning, you don't have chapped lips, and life is good.
Right.
As well as you wake up in the morning, you can get yourself a coffee. You don't have to go to a coffee shop, deal with the barista, the moody barista, yeah, what do you want? Or like wait in line. You
So
just
you
go
are-
to your vending machine, get your coffee, and you're awake.
Okay, so I'll go back and say, if they're going to put these vending machines in a large room,
Yeah.
which is air conditioned and a sliding door, and they're going to have people putting things into these vending machines, so we'll just leave the 7-Elevens and the convenience stores as they are. I think these vending machines take up space. They often don't work.
That's exactly the opposite
You,
of what they do.
don't get the selection that you do in a normal shop. The things like fresh food, you can't get like fruit and things like that.
Yeah.
So just don't upset the apple cart. The vending machines in the small Thai markets work perfectly well. I know Japan loves vending machines. I don't particularly like vending machines. I imagine there's somebody stuck in there who lives their life in the vending machine who go, oh God, another one of those, put one of those on, put one of those there. And
They come like once a day or twice a day to refill.
don't they live in the vending machine?
No, they don't. But I'm
Oh,
talking about things like water. You don't need to go to a market to buy water. It's drinking water.
Okay, there may be a case where some things you can get from a vending machine, but not most things. And you were talking about tools. You get tools from a vending machine.
No, so I was talking about how Thailand is basically... Okay, before I talk about that, Natty, let's talk about your experience now. You love a company called Taobin, right?
Yes.
Now, can you explain to me a little bit about that?
So Tao Bin is one of the, how do you call it, like the up and coming vending machines in Thailand, where they offer over 180 selections of drinks in the vending machine itself. And the good part about it is that it's freshly made. Like, so I'm going to put it in quotations, because typically when you go to a vending machine, let's say if you want to buy coffee, it's already in a can, right? It's already pre-mixed.
Yeah, like
But
a
with
Starbucks pre-made coffee.
Yes, but with
Yeah.
Tao Bin, you can actually select if you want it hot or cold, or even a smoothie. You can select how sweet you want it. You can order it with a lid, without a lid, with a straw, without a straw. So it's very customized.
They'll break down 30 times a day.
It hasn't though.
does.
It's so far it's been doing a very good job, and I've tried all their menus.
But not in the 50s anymore. What are you talking about?
I know our coffee machine, which is a pretty expensive one, breaks down 3 times
Oh
a day.
yeah, that one
Yeah.
does.
So these machines are not. No.
So they come
no.
and refill and change the milk and the products almost every day. I always
Yes, I see it.
an engineer, like a Taubin engineer, who's just fixing or doing, changing the products. So it is quite often taken care of properly.
Right.
I'm going to put this on the list of things that I know are going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's good.
Well,
I used to love the milk bar with Mr. Austin, or whatever his name is, who was an old cranky guy. You'd go in there and you'd buy the paper and have a conversation, and they all sort of got taken over by the convenience stores. And this is the next level of convenience. The multinationals will run these things and more people will be out of work. It's a shame. But I know it's going to happen anyway. I suppose for these machines, you'll press Z45 and you'll scan your phone and it'll just magically happen.
yeah, isn't that great?
It'll rape your phone and take all your money out, and nothing will ever go wrong.
Actually, the coffee tastes really good. I'm gonna have to say that. I tasted all the menus on there, by the way. All of
Tao
it.
bin.
Tao means turtles.
Tao.
Turts.
Turts. So,
No.
these machines it's going to be clogging up corners and rats will get underneath them. And
No way. No, they
What
actually
are you
put it in
talking about?
high-end
Is it-
places.
it's going to cause a rat infestation.
No, it's not.
And it's going to cause the Black Plague 2020.
You're so outdated. What are you talking about? So now Taubin is driving the market, and the point
Yes.
I brought up this topic was: are vending machines basically going to take over Thailand, and are we going to live in a country where we're going to start seeing more and more vending machines? As you were mentioning earlier about tools. Now we've started to now see shops emerge in Thailand where you walk into the shop and it's just a shop of vending machines. So it's think of it as a business owner. It's a great business opportunity. You hire a small shop, you have these vending machines, and it's self-sufficient. You just need to go in once or twice a day to change it, to refill or update whatever you need to do. And it's self-sufficient. People come in, scan, pay for the thing, they take whatever they want, and they leave.
I like the idea. If I'm going to buy a screwdriver, I'm going to go to a hardware store owned by a mum and dad. If I want a hat, I'll go into a hat store.
Yeah.
If I want a nice white shirt, I'll go into a clothes shop. The idea of going into a room where it's full of vending machines, where there's much less selection, okay, if the argument is that it's going to drive down costs and make things cheaper, well, okay, good luck with that one, but I suppose some people will believe you. I just understand that this is probably going to happen. We're going to see them in all the MRTs and the BTSs and lined up along the streets, and I just think it's just a bit of a shame.
But isn't that the reason it's called a convenience store? It's for convenience. If you
This
want
is
to
a vending store.
Yeah, but it's vending machines are for the purpose of convenience. If you want to do proper shopping and go, look at the screwdriver you want to buy, you go to Taivasadu, you go to bigger supermarkets.
I think that's where Amazon Go fits in perfectly because it's convenient and you get to actually touch the material and look at it in real time. Do you know the concept of Amazon Go, right? You go in there, you just put things in the cart and you walk out. There's no cashier, there's nobody like servicing you or anything. It's like very self-sufficient.
How do you
out and go.
pay?
It just automatically cuts from your credit card from your phone.
God, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't buy one of those. How do I get my money back? Oh, you've got to write an application in triplicate, contact somebody in a call centre in India. Oh, no. The things are becoming increasingly complicated. And where there is complication, there are opportunities, and there's also a lot of inconvenience when things don't quite go the way people plan.
But
feel
that's
like you
the
have a-
opposite
yeah.
of it. It's supposed to, how to call it?
It's
become
supposed to.
more convenient and also less human errors because technology came in, right?
Tim
Comes-
has a fear of technology.
robots.
I don't think that is a reasonable criticism. Running a media company, I've had to embrace all sorts of technology to get where we are. But I just, when it comes to vending machines, the interaction with the machine is never going to be quite the same as interaction with a person. Call me old-fashioned, but I just see this as another way of getting rid of people doing jobs. And less convenience, less opportunity, less employment, and the plague. It's going to cause the plague because
The
of the
plague.
rats.
Yeah.
The rats
Right.
living under the vending machines.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another quick break. Once we come back from the break, we're going to answer some of your questions, so keep them coming now. We'll be back right after
Tim,
this.
you old fossil. Oh, here we go. Good Morning Thailand gets up to 80,000 viewers per week, and we'd like to weaponise our audience for you.
That's right. So if you have a business or property or even your house that you'd like to sell,
Private yacht?
yeah, we could be in space.
I'm not sure about space.
Well, all you have to do is contact us on info@thetiger.com, and you can hire us up to a day or even a week, and we'll go to your property and do the show live.
Good Morning Thailand, coming your way.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. It's now time to take some of your questions. Yeah.
Reg Dunlop, hello Reg. Tim is okay with tracking of vax status, but hates stores charging you for items you buy without going to a cashier, I think is what he's saying. How you have conflated those two topics into one sentence, you deserve a medal,
Yeah.
which you could probably buy in a vending machine. Thank you, Reg. Asinine comment.
Tim, are you a boomer?
I don't know. Am I a boomer or a millennial or a...
You're definitely not a
old
millennial,
geezer?
but I guess you're in the boomer. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
What age is a boomer? Can somebody
Boomer
Google
generation.
boomer and
Yeah.
see what age group a boomer is?
Because PG Center says boomer gonna boomer, can't really blame him.
A baby boomer. They're the ones
Baby
who were
boomer.
born after the war.
Yeah.
The Second World War,
Whatever you say.
not the Ukraine war.
Question, Tim, I'll park the yacht in Pattaya Bay. Will you sell it?
No.
That's a question from our member Shano Traveller.
I'll park the yacht in Pattaya Harbour. Will you sell it?
Pattaya Bay, will you sell it?
Why am I selling a yacht?
I
I've
don't.
missed something.
I
I'm
don't
sorry,
know.
Shane.
Shano, please clear it up. Ching Mike says Tim's a boomer. We're the same age. All right.
Tim would prefer the Pony Express.
What is a Pony
Bing
Express?
Lim, I'm not against advancement. I understand that some of these things are going to happen. You know, I didn't particularly like cassette tapes, but I liked the DVDs. Oh no, I'm not even going to go there because
You're just a very picky person.
of course. I understand technology, I understand progress, but look at the Thaiger, for heaven's sake. We've created something here that is modern and progressive and profitable, and media is not an easy area to make profitable, let me tell you. So it's not that I'm against, I'm just saying that I can see there are some drawbacks with these so-called convenient vending machines, understanding that they are hugely popular in some countries, but I just see it as in some ways, a lack of convenience and a lack of selection.
Let's be fair
yeah,
though.
okay.
Can I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
read? Not everybody disagrees with Tim. Drumcula says, "Got to look at the big picture." Tim, you are right in capitals. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, Drum Killer.
Pat Ty says, Sir Tim, our supermarkets in Australia have more self-checkout than cashiers anymore, sadly.
Yeah,
So is it the point that, you know, yes, technology replaces people, people lose jobs, we are heading towards that future. So is that the part that perhaps, you know, that
Okay.
as humans we get sensitive about because we all work for a living?
I'll put it to you guys.
Yeah.
So, because in the next few days, apparently I'm going to have a vending machine here and a vending machine here, and we'll say opinion number 13. Put some money in there and it pops out an opinion.
Yeah.
So, I shop sometimes at Tops.
Yeah.
There's one that I shop at in Phuket occasionally.
Yeah.
Not always. Other supermarkets are available. Natty, so here to you. If you were to go into Tops and you go to the checkout, at many of the bigger Tops supermarkets, you can now go to the automatic checkout, or you can go to the checkout with a cashier there. Which one do you go to?
Naturally, I go to the people, but if the lines
Why
are
is
so
that?
long, I
Why
go
is
to
that?
that one. Just out of habit. Just out of habit.
Out of habit?
Out of habit. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to pose the same. You got the two. You got the one where you go and you do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'll tell you my experience with that. Or you got the one with the person standing there behind the desk, smiling and waiting for you. Which one do you go to?
If I had a choice, I'd go to the person standing there if they're free.
So, I mean, yes, okay, if there's a great big long queue, they're there. I always have problems with them. Like, you scan the items and, I scanned that twice, and then you've got to get somebody to come over and take that one out. I think it drives the people in the shops crazy as well, because they're not quite as efficient as a person going with the barcode, and you can check it, and I don't know, there's just something about that human interaction that machines will never quite be able to do properly.
But again, that was created for the convenience of the cashiers as well. So I think what you're talking about is in the supermarkets, like Tops, for example, when you're checking out, you have your 15 lanes of cashiers, and sometimes all of them are full. So then they have those self-checkout counters, because sometimes you only have 2 items. So you just go to the self-checkout, you check it out yourself, you pay, and then you leave. Now, the point about the vending machines. Now, I'm talking about the vending machines under residential buildings. For example, I have a 7-Eleven vending machine in my building. Nettie has a Tao Bin vending machine in her building. That is ultimate convenient. I don't need a barista. I just need to go and get my coffee in the morning quickly. So I guess
okay, again,
there's 2 ways of looking at it.
You can go and you can get the coffee from the vending machine. You say, I'll have a latte and this size, and you press the button, and in 30 seconds it drops out, and there it is, a cup. Or you can go to the barista, who's going to stand there and he's going to infuse it with a little bit of decoration on the top and give it to you with a smile for probably not a lot more. So my question is, which one is better? It's all very well to say all technology is fantastic. Getting rid of people is fantastic. It makes things cheaper. But down the track, I just think we are poorer for the experience.
Well, I think in this particular example, we're definitely not talking about replacing people, but again, if I'm in a hurry to go to work, I don't necessarily care about my barista smiling at me, right? So it's about the taste of the product. So places like Tao Bin just make you amazing coffee, and it's like, all right, I've got my coffee, I've got things to do, I'm gonna get on with my day. But yes, there is value in having that relationship into walking a coffee shop with your barista, and it's like, oh, hey Natty, you're gonna have the regular. That's a great interaction, and that's good on a Saturday, maybe not on a Monday morning when you're running late.
Here's an interesting question from Rosemary Brown. I'm delighted to say a lot of the questions today coming from ladies. Thank you very much for watching, ladies. If you could pick any decade to be in Thailand, what would it be? When was the golden age of Thailand? We've actually written about this on the Thaiger.com. It's a great article. So the golden age of Thailand. Which decade was the best? There are so many perspectives you could look at this with. Well, for expats, I would say probably the 90s, when Phuket was like a tropical island still.
No buildings, it's so green.
Pattaya was, a little less sophisticated. The bars were perhaps a bit more gritty. I don't know. I think that was perhaps a golden age for expats. For Thais, just looking around, it looks like the 60s were a great time in Thailand. The influence of the West had started to sort of arrive. They were getting into modern music. They still had a strong commitment to the royal family. I think it was a time where there was some big civic projects in places like Bangkok. So I think maybe for Bangkokians, the 60s. I just made that up. But I don't know. What do you think's the golden age for living in Thailand?
I came, early 2000s to Thailand, so I only have experience after 2000, but golden age. 2019, we were in a good place. I thought pre-pandemic times we were at a very good place in terms of everything. I'm talking about my personal opinion. In terms of work, it was like, boom, like a lot of work to do. Tourism was great, and I was doing media production in tourism, so
but perhaps
there was a lot to do, so yeah.
We had too much tourism. When we had 40 million people overseas people coming to Thailand in 2019, some would say that it was just too much, that places like Phuket couldn't handle that sort of traffic. Other people would say, we've never been busier, we've never had more money. But I felt that Thailand wasn't really able to cope with that number of tourists. So I didn't think that was a golden era. I'm sure people would be talking about, what do you think? What was your golden
This
age?
is bad because like I've been living here basically my whole life and I don't see changes until I like really look back. I'm like, wow, that really changed. But it's so subtle for me. So I guess like in the early 2000s, because that's what I remember, like my partying days.
Things were a lot more simpler back then. No?
Yeah, a little bit.
Get your Nokia phone out.
Oh,
You
yeah,
drop
the
it
flip
100
phone.
times, nothing really happens.
Yeah.
Look, there are, these days, the internet, these things, the fact that I can watch an old TV series at the click of a finger. I mean, technology is wonderful. There are so many benefits, but there are also some downfalls from time to time.
Well, I remember Damien Justice says, live in the moment, so now.
Yeah.
Well said, Damien.
Scott Shallcross, self-check-in kiosks at airlines now.
Oh yeah.
So again, when you arrive at the airport, do you want to... yes, if there's a queue of people, the self-check-in's great. However, I like when I check in to say, is the exit row available?
We've spoken about this. Because, because Tim often travels to Phuket, so you like to go to the check-in counter and talk to them and ask them for your exit seat. I just like to check in from home, so as soon as I get to the airport, I already have my boarding pass, and I just go, phew.
Okay, so you don't care where you sit in the plane. I do.
No, I do. I like the exit seat, but you can choose your exit seat.
But you have to pay for it.
Not depends what airline
Yes.
you go to.
Oh, every airline you're going to pay extra to sit in the exit row.
I flew back.
Mind you, you're 6'3", they'll look at you and go,
No,
exit row.
not necessarily. Not every airline, but you're right. Most of the low-cost domestic airlines, yes. But if you, for example, if you fly Bangkok Airways, now last time me and Jason were flying back, we had to go with equipment. So it's only 300 baht more if you fly Bangkok Airways, and they give you 20 kgs baggage. So we carried all the equipment with us. But yeah, in the app they allowed me to change whatever seat I wanted to.
Nice.
So the airline I choose to fly with 99% of the time, which is mostly about convenience rather than any allegiance to the airline.
Vietjet, is it?
So
Oh, sorry, VJ.
other airlines are available.
Yes.
They never had, the check-in queues are never that long. I mean, the longest I've ever had to wait was probably 10 minutes. They don't have kiosks at that particular airline. I also found sometimes the kiosks, like technology, you scan the thing in it and then there's an error, go to the checkout counter. I think, oh, okay, so just wasted the last 5 minutes. Again, I just like having somebody to talk to. Call me old-fashioned, and I'm sure a lot of people are. So, Flying Hedgehog said the best decade in Thailand was the 70s. For those expats that were here in the 70s, it would have been a real pioneering spirit. What the hell is going on here? There wouldn't have been the internet to sort of tell the world about the scams or about the best hotels or what a pad thai was or what to happen. The word "my pet." You wouldn't have known about that. So it would have been a fascinating place to visit back then.
Right.
Would have been great.
All right. All right, last questions before we end the show, ladies and gentlemen. Social interaction.
So I just spoke for the last 5 minutes so you could find a question each.
T Nun says, "Hi Jay, your Nokia phone comment reminded me of the commercial that said, 'Grab your cricket, come get with it.'" Cool. I'm sorry, T Nun, I don't remember, or I don't think I've ever watched that commercial, but yeah, thanks.
Some Revolution of Our Time says Japan has so many 7-Elevens and Family Marts and vending machines. It shows that it doesn't replace the jobs, is a comment.
The Wu-Tang Life has sent a rather cryptic, unusual comment, which I'm inviting you to help decipher for me. Tim, what downfalls that you don't talk to people? I think Tim likes his rear end kissed.
Okay. All right, Natty, we've got a comment for you.
What does that mean?
Sorry, I have no idea, but PG Santa did send me $5 for me because he says, "Natty, please use this to buy a drink from a vending machine in front of Tim." What do you
That
like
is
to
a
drink,
golden
Tim?
comment. That is a golden comment.
If I felt like a coffee,
Uh-huh.
and there's a vending machine there,
Yeah.
or there's a little Thai mum and dad store serving
It's
fresh
definitely-
coffee,
there are
which
no
one am I
mum-
going to go to?
There are no mum and dad coffee stores here.
Yes, there are. Down the road, it's called the Coffee.
Yeah, but you have to go out of your way to go find it. You're talking about it like it's so readily available everywhere. Your old run-of-the-mill mum and dad store. It's not a thing.
I think it is a thing. That means Carmel is older. Okay, so they're all talking about Carmel now.
Hi, Carmel.
Carmel is unfortunately not here today because today's a public holiday and she
Carmel's-
demands she be off.
She's on the floor below now.
That's right.
She is so. She's beneath us.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Yeah, we're moved. We're in a new office now. This is the first day we're broadcasting from the new office. We hope the sound's okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've run over 55 minutes now. We hope
Congratulations,
you've
India
enjoyed
and
the-
South Korea.
Cool. I don't know for what.
Did you watch Eurovision?
No.
Do you care about Eurovision?
No.
No. I know you watched Eurovision. Did you watch the finals?
I watched the semi-finals, which was very
Oh.
good, at a Eurovision party, hosted by yours
Tim.
truly. Not myself, but yes. Not myself, I said. I've been spending too much time with Jason. But yeah, it was my first time experiencing Eurovision. I know who won. Are we going to talk about who won?
Sure.
Now, you predicted this like last week.
Sure. As soon as Eurovision, I said, well, Ukraine will win. Because there's the judges' vote and then there's the public vote. And there was no doubt that that Ukraine was going to win. Whether their act deserved to win, you could actually ask that of just about any Eurovision winner. But there was the fair share of the, oh my gods, and the, yeah, that's good. And this year had obviously a political focus. A lot of people throwing in a few political comments, although they are illegal in Eurovision, not allowed to make political comments. But I think Ukraine has won twice in the past 7 or 8 years. So well done, Ukraine. The UK came second. I have no idea how. And Australia came 12th, I think, this year.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That's sad.
Wait, why is Australia in Eurovision?
Oh,
Exactly.
Natty, this is a question that has been asked so often.
Really? Okay.
I don't have
know.
an answer,
Okay.
and neither does anybody else.
And
Okay,
that's
right.
what I told him, that Australia can never win Eurovision because it'll be the biggest farce
Yeah.
Europe has had
It
to
came
deal
second one year.
Wow.
1 hour. Oh,
Whoa.
thank you, Chai. Chai
All right.
just told us
Yeah.
it's
Toilet
1 hour.
paper.
with. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be cut off very soon because, we normally do get cut off at 60 minutes. So thank you very much for watching the show so far. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please click the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And we hope you had a good Monday with us. We'll be seeing you tomorrow. But for now, thank you, Tim Newton.
And thank you. In the future, if you want to see the show, you have to go to a vending machine
Yeah.
and put in 50 baht, and Jay, Tim and Natty will pop out and do the show for you live.
Nice.
And thank you, Nettie Warisa.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to Noom and Chai behind the buttons. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, have a great Monday. See you tomorrow.